a lot of treatments, once you've broken that barrier, what are the implications of that? Then obviously, your skin then goes into like a healing response kind of thing. And once over, that was thought that would be good because your skin's regenerating.
Yeah.
So how does this work differently, if you just explain a little bit more?
There's a lot of emphasis in this industry about speeding up cell renewal. And actually, if you take away those top layers of skin because it's dead, so to speak, that actually you're helping that process and you'll get this beautiful, young, fresh skin underneath. And that has been the narrative for a very long time. Yes. But actually, when we look at the function of the skin, those corneocytes that we mentioned at the beginning, yes, they've become anucleated, so they are dying, but they're part of the stratum corneum, that top layer of the skin, that layer that we can see, but they still have a very vital part to play right up until they've desquamated, so they've naturally fallen off and they've landed on the floor. Right up until that point, they're still very much part of a functional process. So to remove them is almost nonsensical, if you like. And when we talk about speeding them up, potentially we're preventing the strata of the epidermis from laying down that barrier properly. Because if we speed it up too much, it doesn't have the opportunity to do what it's supposed to do. So that's where I talk about justification. I'm not saying hard no's to things, but what does the skin in front of you need? And if you can't justify the action, then maybe the skin doesn't need it in the first place. Yeah. So it becomes it puts the power back into the therapist's hands. So, brands, modalities, the trainers, they're not in the room with the skin. So we're putting that knowledge, that education back in the hands of the therapist so that they can make the decision on the day based on what they see and with an understanding of how the skin works. So it becomes a really powerful tool. And when you love skin and you love to get holistic results, having that knowledge and that understanding means you get much better long-term results.
Yeah, and which is what every client wants. And this is the thing as well, because clients, they have access to so much knowledge now as well. So, I think our industry, it's great that when you do your initial training, you learn about everything. And I always think that it's so great that then you can just take one element of it and turn that into your career. So good. But the thing is that it's at college, I think you come away thinking that you know everything, and you know such a small fraction. And it is just, it fascinates me how much you can then go on and learn. Moving on to your course that you do, which is obviously probably the best way to learn about it, because even before our interview, I like to make sure I've gathered as much information as you can. It's still a little bit fragmented, the information that's out there. And is that why you pulled together and produced your own program around it?
Yes and no. So as an association, the IAC, the International Association for Applied Corneotherapy, we do have a course written by Pastiche Florence Barrett-Hill. But what I was finding in the UK particularly was that a lot of the therapists were finding it, thinking, yes, this is the way I want to approach skin. But when they were taking the course, they just didn't have that foundational knowledge that they were getting lost in it. And as a consequence, they were saying, this is not for me, I'm not clever enough, and stepping away from corneotherapy. And potentially they would have made wonderful practical therapists. So for me, it was about marrying the two, people who had an interest in corneotherapy, an interest in looking after skin the right way, but filling in those gaps for them, giving them that stepping stone, if you like, so that they didn't feel lost in the science clients, because apparently I have a way of Labanizing things and joining the dots so that people feel, oh yeah, that makes sense. They have those epiphany moments. And for me as an individual, that is so rewarding to be able to, it's like a gift to give somebody really, where they kind of go, yeah, I really feel empowered now with the knowledge.